Okay, as we enter a whole new week in trade, let's take a look at the global handover as well as how Asia is performing this morning. Now, as far as stocks in the US go, they're going to trade on lockdown concerns and rising cases. All three major averages in the US finished Friday's session lower. The Dow and S&P 500 also posted a loss for the week, falling nearly 1% each. Currently, this morning, futures were looking up slightly on the Dow 64 points. S&P futures were also looking up around 0.24%, and Nasdaq 100 futures were advancing 0.33%. So maybe we'll see a slight bump up this week as we get more and more vaccine being priced into markets. But Friday was definitely, and last week was definitely a bit of a breather for the equity markets. Now, in markets in Asia, Japan this morning is closed for a holiday. However, in Australia, the S&P ASX 200 has risen more than 0.6%. Shares of major miners, BHP Group and Fortescue, jumped 3.4% and 4.72% respectively. South Korea's Kospi added around 0.9%. So, Asian markets looking fairly upbeat, barring Japan, which we don't have any cues from. Then EU stocks last week closed higher despite virus concerns. The Stoxx 600 provisionally closed up almost 0.5%. The oil and gas stocks climbed 1.5% to lead the gains. So that's how your three major equity markets performed. Based on that, I'd say for Nifty, we're looking at the SGX being fairly muted, not showing an uptick or a downtick. Here domestically for us, there are talks of lockdown reinitiating in key states of Delhi and some other regions. If that happens, perhaps the economic outlook could worsen slightly and market might price that in. So let's see how it responds. But as of now, SGX not showing any major movement. Two commodities we always want to check on, oil and gold. Brent crude futures were up 59 cents or 1.3% at $44.79 per barrel, so nearly back at 45. The WTI contract for December settled again nearly 1% higher at $42.15 per barrel. So both US WTI and then international benchmark Brent showing positive uptick last week. Both benchmarks, actually did a 4% rise last week. Then coming to gold, as a bit of uncertainty crept into the equity markets with lockdown talk as well as rising cases, gold edged higher on Friday. Spot gold rose 0.3% to $1,872 per ounce, so nearly $1,873. And then US gold futures settled up 0.7% to $1,872 per ounce, so nearly $1,873. So that's the way the global wrap kind of shapes up for this week. Should be an interesting week in trade.